terms of drugs and medications, we'll get in touch with you. But saying that, I'd like to pass the floor to Director General for Healthcare of the Ministry of National Services of Healthcare and Regulation and Coordination of Islamic Republic of Pakistan, Mr. Malik Muhammad Safi. Over to you, Pakistan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Ministers, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, let me express Pakistan's profound appreciation of the stewardship role of Health Minister Russia for convening this virtual meeting and bringing health ministers and stakeholders together for sharing of knowledge and experience in responding to the COVID pandemic, which is no doubt the defining crisis of our time. As we all know, that the challenges for health in developing nations are greater due to their economic situation and existing inadequate health infrastructure. We are cognizant of the fact that ending the epidemic will require sustained and collective efforts of all individuals, communities, governments to continue with suppression and mitigation strategies to avoid the consequences of this deadly virus. The countries must now ensure that they can detect, test, isolate and care for every case and trace every contact allowed. The global progression of the pandemic has clearly demonstrated that no single country could protect itself and overcome the challenges on its own. Since the declaration of global pandemic, the disease has had a devastating impact across the globe on morbidity, mortality, burden on health systems, and on national and global economies. It is Pakistan's hope that the collective wisdom of SCO countries through this august platform can be used for exchanging best practices, coordinating responses, and catalyzing the efforts for improved emergency preparedness and longer-term economic development. Mr. Chairman, the current COVID pandemic has posed unprecedented challenges to all countries, including Pakistan. Since the first case was reported on 26th of February 2020 in Pakistan, today we have 270,000 cases confirmed, which are being reported, with almost 5,709 deaths, with a CFR of 2.1%, which is significantly lower than the initial international projections, especially considering that Pakistan is the fifth most populous country in the world. Pakistan has focused its response through its national strategy to combat COVID-19, prevent, control and respond to mitigate the health impacts of the pandemic. It included early establishment of multi-sectoral coordination mechanism with the whole government approach at the highest of level, which was chaired by Prime Minister of Pakistan. This enabled close working relationship between federal and provincial governments. Through this plan, the overarching strategy of test, trace, and quarantine is being pursued and operationalized. I would like to thank and acknowledge the role of frontline workers and security agencies along with the partners for their supporting the fight against COVID emergency. Being sensitive to the frontline healthcare workers' health due to their increased incidence of being affected on the retail program for psychosocial and psychological support to reduce the stress and anxiety which they are facing. We are also training them on national use of personal protective equipment, Similarly, critical and ICU case management training program is in the process, while public awareness messages for social distancing, hand washing, and use of face masks are being given, and also we have a helpline which has been established for the general public. In order to support the vulnerable segments of the society, the Government of Pakistan has initiated new social protection program and a self-relief package for health and social protection and food security to mitigate economic hardships. Additionally, tax exemption for import of essential medical equipment and supplies has been made. Moreover, timely suppressive strategies comprising of an effective mix of measures such as smart lockdowns, suspension of international and domestic travel, ban on large public gatherings, closure of schools and markets are being implemented. We must realize that effective vaccines against COVID-19 are urgently needed to protect populations and restart economies. Where they can, governments are funding the development of vaccines and making arrangements with vaccine manufacturers. Pakistan has also joined the consultation for the COVAX facility at Gavi and is expected to receive support to the Gavi COVAX window in order to immunize 20% of their population. Moreover, bilateral channels are also being explored to ensure availability of COVAX vaccine. Pakistan would like to recommend some key priorities for cooperation between SCO members, which includes investment for strengthening core capacities under national health regulations, improved pandemic response financing mechanism, enhancement in cooperation amongst the member states for epidemiological surveillance and cross-border strategies, to rethink beyond COVID-19 and focus on strengthening primary healthcare services and therefore ensuring continuity of essential health services and future public health events. To conclude, Pakistan would like to state that all member states of SCO have to play a role by pursuing scientific knowledge to bring about meaningful and equitable changes to how the world will respond to such crises in the future. I thank you all.
Thank you so much. And what you said about cooperation through Gavi and through WHO, this is what we support. We support these vectors of our cooperation. To say that, I'm passing the floor to the First Deputy Minister of Healthcare and Social Protection of Tajikistan, Mr. Muhsin Soda. Over to you. Can you hear me well? Can you hear me well? Yes, we can hear you very well. Thank you so much. Mr. Muhsin. Dear Mr. Chair, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for this opportunity to participate in this August meeting of the SCO Healthcare Ministers. First of all, I'd like to thank the organizers of that meeting for very informative presentations made by the speakers. This is really a very good foundation for responding to COVID-19 in every country. I'd like to note the fact that Tajikistani government and our president, Mr. Emomali Rahmon, personally responsibility for containing all this COVID-19 disease. Unfortunately, as the experience of other countries showed. The measures which were taken from the very outset proved not to be very efficient, but as long as we started the experience of other countries, as long as we started launching our activities, which were based on the viral diagnostics and surveillance, as well as lab testing, step by step, we noted certain alleviation and improvement. I would like to note the experience of our country in terms of how we hospitalize the patients. Because the first days of the pandemic, of spreading of this virus, showed that all the beds in the hospitals were occupied by wrong patients, so to say, and therefore we had to update the algorithm and the protocol, and we introduced stricter rules for admitting patients to hospitals. Subsequent measures resulted in the fact that we were very specific about every household. You know that 93% of our republic is rural, and those who lived in the remote regions, they also were taken under control, they were taken into consideration. The experience which we have accumulated in the capital of the country, in the city of Dushanbe, we replicated in the most remote regions. Our targeted measures aimed at fighting against COVID-19 in every household, in every family, helped us to do a lot at the level of the primary healthcare centers. And we managed to differentiate the patients who needed first aid and urgent help. And we certainly controlled the lungs situation. We did X-ray control at the regional level and at the national level. And this helped us to differentiate all the patients, to sort them, even identifying the cases of COVID-19 which were not lab confirmed. This was done in order to alleviate the burden placed on the hospitals, and therefore we decreased the number of beds in the hospitals accommodating COVID patients. At the moment we have hundreds of patients who are admitted to the hospital, and thousands of cases without any symptoms, without any signs. We certainly agree with the fact that we have to take into consideration and include into the statistics the cases with which are confirmed by X-ray. We separately taking into consideration the lab negative but X-ray positive cases. Actually, this is registered as the recovery after COVID-19. We developed that the statistics of such morbidity and the primary identification of the patients with lab-confirmed tests may help us to localize our actions and focus our actions and efforts on where we can use our limited resources. I'd like to take advantage of this opportunity. I'd like to tell you about how our lab service works. We have about 8 labs. The ones which are deployed at the national level. Unfortunately, we are lacking tests and test equipment, but we do everything possible in order to get these tests from everywhere we can, and this is quite promising. In the upcoming 2 or 3 weeks, we will embrace all the potential cases. For 4 weeks already, we have a very stable situation, and we try to take any measures possible in order to prevent the second wave pandemic, we are getting prepared for the seasonal flu. Our institutions have to be prepared in terms of providing free drugs and medications to the people. At the moment, we have developed a program where we can cover the potential outbreaks of any disease. We have about 12,000 beds vacant, and therefore we may accommodate any potential patients. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you very much. I'm really grateful that you mentioned anti-flu vaccination, because this is very challenging and dangerous times, and we need to think about the autumn and winter. As for us, we already have a number of agreements signed and contracts for the upcoming season. We don't want the two infections to hit us together. So once again, thank you very much. And now I would like to give floor to our next speaker, a colleague of mine with whom we've been working together, our colleague from Uzbekistan, Mr. Sharmanov. Over to you, please, Minister. Lisha Kayumwich, we can't hear you. Dear Mihail, Minister, dear colleagues, Mr. Hans Kluge, I'd like to express my sincere gratitude to the Russian Federation for organizing such a conference. Our meeting will help us develop a common approach, coordinate our actions, and understand further steps so that we could address the threats and challenges promptly. Our President has established and founded a special committee to address COVID-19 pandemic. We have introduced quarantine in the country. We have undertaken a number of actions and measures. In order to fight coronavirus, we've been working closely with hospitals. We've built 3 new hospitals, 600 beds each, and 4,000 hospital. We intend to expand the number of beds up to 10,000. We have a special clear zone for 20,000 beds. We have high-tech lab in place to fight COVID-19. We also have a high-tech center where we have developed a system of our own to detect coronavirus. It now has proper registration, and bench tests have been conducted. They've been quite successful. As for PPEs, as of today, Uzbekistan has capacity to produce PPEs in the required amount. At the same time, as for cooperation in pharmaceutical area, we are working closely with the Russian Federation. At the moment, we have 731,000 medical supplies. We have 30 supplies of and vendors of drugs and medical supplies. We are also getting help from China, 359 pieces of equipment from 143 supplies, and 161 one medical supplies from 99 supplies. As for Uzbek medical company Nobel Farm has registered a new cure, and at the moment they are finalizing the formalities. We are also working with Europac Labs, and in 1 month they intend to produce remdesivir cure. On a regular basis, we're conducting video conferences with leading specialists from SCO countries, from Eurasian Union, from CIS countries, and video conferences with many other countries. We are exchanging experience and knowledge with specialists from Turkey, Russia, Germany, and many other countries. We have engaged German specialists working in microbiology and hygiene, Professor Vardhan. And also, we have engaged a number of consultants. They are working in our country. These are specialists from Turkey. At the same time, I must mention that in April this year, we have arranged a visit of Chinese specialists from Chinese province. They helped us a lot with our patients in order to prevent for the spread of COVID-19. We have implemented a number of measures in close cooperation with the WHO and European Regional Bureau. It's worth mentioning that from the very first day, WHO has been supporting us and still is supporting us and helping us with emergency measures. And as for light forms of infection, we have allowed for such patients to stay at home under the doctor's surveillance. Such patients with light form are supplied with free medical supplies. As of today, we have created another 50,000 medical supplies in store. This is our reserve. Around 23,000 of PCR tests are conducted daily. All in all, we had 1,800,000 tests conducted. In July, we have allowed private clinics to conduct tests. We are still monitoring the situation in the country, and on a daily basis, 52% are those cases that came from other countries. That means that our citizens are coming back from vacations from other countries, and they get infected in other countries and bring infection into our country. So we had to bring quarantine measures back. At the moment, we have 986,000 cases. 10,000 plus patients are still in the hospitals. 8,000 plus patients are undergoing treatment. Some of them are in critical conditions, and we have 0.5% of mortality. Dear colleagues, I'd like to mention Mr. Norev's role in this fight against coronavirus. The chairman of SCO has done quite a lot, and he provided great support to Tajikistan. We would also like to express our gratitude to the Russian Federation and the Chinese People's Republic and all other members of SCO for all their help and invaluable support. Thank you very much, and I wish you patience, good health, peace, and well-being. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Alisher Kayumovich. This was a very interesting presentation. You are doing indeed quite a lot, and it looks like you are quite successful in fighting coronavirus. And right now, I would like to give floor. So thank you to our previous speakers, and now I would like to give floor to our next speaker, Secretary General of ICO, Mr. North. Chairman, heads of delegations, ladies and gentlemen. I'm happy to see you all here. Welcome to this meeting. And I would like to express my gratitude to the Ministry of Healthcare of the Russian Federation for organizing this meeting. No doubt, in the situation that we're currently in, we're fighting COVID-19 pandemic. We've joined forces, we're working together, we're supporting each other. As experts say, the situation is still unstable. There's still a threat of the second wave. So the threat is still there. No doubt, all those factors require prompt response to new threats on part of SAO. We need to improve the regulatory base and mechanisms in healthcare. Ministers of Foreign Affairs of SAO member states mentioned and discussed this as well. This was on a video conference in May 2020. COVID-19 pandemic requires multilateral, inclusive measures with the support of the UN. In this context, I would like to mention the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding between SAO and WHO. We admit that OSCE, League of Arab States, UN and diplomatic corps in Beijing have done quite a lot to ensure safety and security in the region. In the letters that we are receiving, we see a lot of words of gratitude on the occasion of measures that have been implemented. Means that we need to keep going. We need to keep working on the mechanisms and coordinate our actions and measures within SAO. We have done quite a lot already. In the last 3 months, we had several meetings where experts and specialists were discussing relevant issues. We conducted a workshop conducted by Alibaba Health. On the 17th of June, heads of regulatory bodies in charge of healthcare had a meeting and they approved a joint action plan for member countries to counter the pandemic in the region in the most efficient manner. On the 7th of June, we had a webinar hosted by our Chinese partner, where we discussed prevention and measures to targeted at responding to COVID-19. We discussed technology and other measures. And on the 8th of July, within the framework of our preparation for the ministers' meeting, we have agreed to develop a consolidated document to exchange best practices to prevent further spread of COVID-19. We are talking about fight against plague. So we created a coordination body in order to be able to fight COVID-19 spread in the region. We have a draft document developed by Uzbek and Tajik parties, And this has been voiced and discussed during the MFA ministers meeting. This is a good mechanism for further steps, for early detection, prompt response, and mitigation of negative effects of pandemic. Very soon, a summit of heads of states of SCO member countries will take place in St. Petersburg, where heads of states are going to discuss such measures that help prevent further spread of COVID-19. So, in conclusion, I would like to say that taking into account the severity of the ongoing coronavirus pandemic, it is critical to coordinate our actions and support each other in order to succeed and stop spread of coronavirus. This is a practical mechanism, and this meeting of health ministers is very important. Its role is becoming bigger, and I'm sure that the proposals and initiatives discussed today will help improve efficiency and improve multilateral cooperation in healthcare. Thank you very much, and I wish you every success. Thank you very much. We would like to thank Vladimir Norev. We think that signing a memorandum of understanding is very important, and as you said, coordination and support in such difficult times is critical for us. So the next speaker I would like to give floor to is the director of the regional WHO branch, Hans Kluge. Looks like he is in a very nice place. All green, fresh air, so over to you.
Глубоко уважаемый Михаил Альбертович, министр здравоохранения Федерации.
ठीक है
No matter where you live or who you are, each of us can help break the chains of COVID-19 transmission. Here's what you can do to protect.
चेक करिए इधर अपने फोन में लाइव DHP है वो ठीक है
इस बार दिवाली पे मिठाई और
चेक करिए इधर अपने फोन में लाइव DHP है वो। ठीक है, चेक करिए इधर अपने फोन में लाइव DHP है वो। ठीक है,
कृष्ण भजन करने वाले की जिम्मेदारी कृष्ण ही उठाता है। योगक्षेम वाहमियम, गीता में ये कह दिया है। गीता में ये भी कह दिया है, कौंती प्रतिजानाई न मे भक्ति प्रणश्यति। हे कुंती के बेटे, ये ढिंढोरा पेंट दे, ये ऐलान कर दे, ये घोषणा कर दे, ये डिक्लेयर कर दे कि जो मेरा भक्त है उसको तो मैं ही संभालता हूँ, उसका नाश नहीं होता। मेरी माता बहनों मित्रों, जिंदगी के दो पासे हैं, सिक्के हैं दो, एक अंधेरा है, एक उजाला।
I would like to welcome you all to the celebration of 14 years of the Ministry of Earth Sciences and its Foundation Day 2020, and other dignitaries who are watching this program live from their respective places. I also welcome Dr. Margaret Lennon, Director of Scripps Institution of Oceanography, Vice Chancellor of Marine Sciences, University of California, San Diego, who is also watching this program live from San Diego. I would now like to call upon Dr. N. Rajivan, Secretary, Ministry of Earth Sciences, to deliver the welcome address.
Very good morning to all of you. Dr. Harshvardhan ji, Honorable Minister for Health and Health, Science and Technology and Earth Sciences. Dr. Vipin Chandra, Joint Secretary, Mrs. Sunita Sarkar, JS and FA, my dear colleagues of MOES family, respected past secretaries of DOD MOES. First of all, my hearty congratulations to all of you on this 14th Foundation Day of the Ministry. I want to specially thank our Honorable Minister, Dr. Harshvardhan ji, for sparing his valuable time and participating in this function. As you know that in the last 5 years, as the Minister of Earth Sciences, he has been providing us constant encouragement, guidance and support for all our activities. He has been always an inspiration for all of us. He is active in social media to make regular announcements of our achievements and our good work. We all should acknowledge his sincere contribution and support and thank him for the same. Thank you very much, sir. We have been celebrating this Foundation Day in a grand manner for last several years, but due to COVID-19 situation, today we are bound to organize this function in a small way. As our father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, suggested, he has mentioned about 7 deadly sins. For example, business without ethics. As far as science is concerned, he told science without humanity is a deadly sin. Science should meet the needs of society. Doing science without any societal commitment is really meaningless. Our Ministry of Earth Science is very much committed to deliver many useful applications for society with the help of good science and technology. As you are aware, due to COVID-19, many restrictions and lockdowns were implemented throughout the country, except for the essential services. The work being done at IMD, Invoice and NCS are considered to assess the essential services. I am happy to inform that in spite of huge hardship and difficulties, especially in traveling, IMD and Invoice and NCS could sustain the essential services of weather forecast and warning, ocean shape forecast, tsunami warnings, and also earthquake monitoring without any difficulties. No serious impacts on quality of forecasts and services could be noticed due to this lockdown. So I should thank all the staff and officers of IMD, Invoice and NCS for their dedicated work during this lockdown periods. I also thank IATM and NCMRW also for providing the services of HPC, high performance computers, uninterrupted during this difficult time. You may be remembering that during this lockdown period only, IMD could make excellent and accurate predictions of 2 cyclones. One is Umfan, and next is Nisarga. It went to Maharashtra. We could save thousands of precious lives. As you are all aware, we have been doing excellent work in all areas of our mandate. I will not go through the details, but briefly mention about a few things. For example, improved cyclone forecast last few months, cyclone Umfan and as well as Nisarga. In general, improvement in weather forecast. For example, our CFS forecasting scheme, our CFS forecasting system is put in now TIGI data set. It's really a global recognition. Very few models are taken up for putting in TIGI. So these data are available for the global community now. Northwest India radars we have been putting in. 2 radars have been already installed, and another few will come by this year. And we have Honorable Minister has inaugurated the Mumbai flood warning system. We also released recently the first climate change assessment report, It was prepared by a National Center for Climate Change Research in IIT Pune. We have recently started potential fishing zone forecast, and especially giving a forecast for 2 states we started. And desalination plants, the 6 plants we are now working, and already 1 plant is completed, and the remaining 5 will be completed in the next few months. Because of this COVID, we are not able to move the ships, etc., from Kochi or Bangalore to Lakshadweep, so there is a small delay. And solar-based desalination plant we have set up in Kanyakumari. New development in manned submersible as well as deep sea mining system. NIOT has been doing a lot of good work. And also we have been doing scientific expedition to all the 3 poles, and also seismic microsonation of cities. 4 cities already is in a good shape, and 8 will be implemented very soon. And we also commissioned 1 coastal research vessel as well as 1 Doppler weather radar. Our ambitious project, the Deep Ocean Mission, is ready for launching after the approval of the Technology Board of the Government of India, chaired by Professor K. Vijayaraghavan. EFC and cabinet approval is for some pending. During this lockdown periods, when we are sitting at home, as also we are not moving out, we started a new webinar series for a science subject. It's almost 30 now, and maybe 3, 4 are remaining. And there are very impressive scientific presentations every week, twice in a week, 2 in 1 week. And these are all well received by the scientific community, and also we received a lot of appreciation from press and media. Right? So it was given in a very lucid, very simple language to make sure that people understand what we are doing. And our social media presence has also improved a lot. For example, I can give you 2 examples. For IMD's Twitter media presence is increased by 80% for last 6 months. Now they have followers more than 1.23 lakh. It was about 60,000 a few months back. Similarly, MOS Twitter account was also increased by almost 50% during last 6 months. And many new IMD officers now joined the social media, and they are very active in social media. For next few years, MOS has very ambitious plans. And for example, we will be procuring, if everything goes well, we will be procuring a new computer, a PC high performance computer of 40 petabytes by next year. That will help us to generate global weather forecast at 5 kilometers, which can be used for block level forecast for helping farmers. And also we are going to launch an urban meteorology program and regional forecast at 1 kilometer. And augmentation of double weather radars from currently 28, we will be doing it to increase to 50. Already tender is almost ready. It will be out now in a few days. Research test bed for Bhopal. We have got 100 acres of land from Madhya Pradesh government. We will be setting up a very unique research test bed in Bhopal for studying monsoon crops. And we also, Northeast region, as you know, that our observational network as well as the forecast system have to improve. So we are going to have integrated meteorological services for Northeast region, focusing exclusively Northeast states. And as I told, Deep Ocean Mission we are going to launch. And development of manned submersible, we have give a lot of priority on two technology development projects like manned submersible as well as integrated mining system. And we also will be, we already started work on OTEC plan, Ocean Thermal Energy Conversion Plan at Kavariti. And when it is completed, it will be India will be the first country to develop this OTEC plan in any part of the world. We are also strengthening our marine biology, biodiversity work. We will be setting up a marine biology station at Goa with the support of Principal Scientific Advisor's Office. We have 2 research ships, Sagar Kenya and Sagar Sampada, which are almost 35 years old now. So we need to really replace. So we have already started writing EFC documents. We are also trying to buy a polar research vessel. Last 4 or 5 years they have been going on. Hopefully it will also happen in the near future. But we are very determined to have a polar research vessel. And Maitri station also is very old, and we need to really replace the Maitri station in Antarctica. And as you know, the NCCR has been doing a lot of good work in coastal research. We need to really further strengthen. They have been doing a lot of work, especially beach restoration, etc. And in geoscience, we had to do a lot of strengthen the basics and geoscience research, geodynamics, work on geodynamics, studies on landslides, etc. Same way, the marine living resources, the CMLRE, they all moved to a new building now. So they have to also, we have to be supported. The work on marine biodiversity also to be augmented. As far as seismology is concerned, we had few years back, we had only about 80s. Now the network is almost 150. So it will be increased to 150 now, 150, another 1 or 2 months. Already instruments have come. We have planned to increase to 300 very soon. And BGRL at Farad, we have been doing a lot of good work, and because of COVID and other some constraints because of the environmental clearance, etc., the work is going a little slow, but we are talking to Maharashtra government to get the clearance, etc., and that activity also will be now strengthened. We are setting up a geochronology center. It's one of the first in this country at UAC in New Delhi with the GTC center. That will be, when it is set up, it will be a first of its kind in India. Already most of the instruments have come except one oscillator which is pending, so that will be, they will be purchasing by this year. And we have again some 50-acre land now adjacent to NCMRWF in Noida, so we are going to set up new facilities there, new campus. We'll have a new office for NCS. We'll have a new IMD office, regional office in IMD. And also NCMRWF will have some facilities there. But we are technologies, this is the new way of life. And improve our IT infrastructure. This is the more focus we need to really do. Also, we have some important pending administrative reforms to do. The most important is to formulate a promotion policy for scientific and technical assistants working at IMD and also autonomous institutions of our ministry. Ministry is seriously pursuing with other ministries, especially with the finance ministry, to frame up a promotion policy for the MOS. Gives the highest priority to bring out a promotion policy for technical staff as well as for administrative staff of ministry as well as institutions. We also acknowledge and appreciate the sincere work carried out by scientific assistants and technical assistants at IMD as well as other autonomous institutions. We will do our best to bring a promotion policy for them very soon. And also, you are aware that MOS Foundation, we normally have a Foundation Day lecture given by eminent scientists. This year, we wanted to bring a very eminent women scientist, and so we requested Dr. Margaret Leland. She's the director of the Scripps Institute of Oceanography. As you know, Scripps Institute of Oceanography is one of the best oceanography institutions in the world. She was ready agreed to come. Because of this COVID restriction, she is not able to come. But she has already given us her presentation, which we will be broadcasting after this function. And she has agreed to deliver a talk. She will be talking on ocean science for the 21st century. And we should thank Dr. Margaret Leland for this gesture. We are also going to sign a MOU between Ministry as well as Scripps Institute on Ocean Research. It will be a new initiative. Definitely to that MOU will help us to improve our ocean science research. She has promised us to visit India once the present situation improves, and we look forward to her visit to India. And also we know that MOS gives away annual awards at this Foundation Day. In this year also we have finalized, even though COVID situation was prevailing, we finalized the MOS annual awards now. We received nominations, we got it approved through committees, etc. So both national awards for excellent research in areas of sciences as well as MOS Best Employee Awards. We thank all the expert committee chairs and members for working during this COVID crisis towards selection of these awards with the due diligence and care. Due to some administrative reasons, the MOS national awards will be announced a little later. However, I will now read out the MOS Best Employee and Certificate of Merit Awards. We normally give awards on the same day, but because of this restriction, we are not able to give the awards. But I will announce the awards now today, and we should all congratulate all the award winners. Please give me some time to read these names and a few names. You should have some patience to listen. the names, and we should all congratulate these people for getting these awards. One is certificate of awards for atmospheric science. One is Dr. Kula Guha Kakuta, he is from IMD. Dr. I think you can clap together afterwards. And after I read out all the names. Dr. Sanjeev San, scientist F, he is from IMD. Sachin Gude from IATM Pune. Dr. Habibur Rahman Biswas, he is from IMD. Dr. Imran Ali M. Momin, he is from NCMRWF, and Arun Kumar Gupta from MOES. And Ocean Science, Babulal Jaina from NCPUR. Dr. Anbu Rajan is from NIOT. Dr. Abhishek Chatterjee from Ingois. Dr. Reshmi from NSS. Dr. Sanjay Kumar Prajapati from NCS. Dr. V. Ramanathan from NCCR. And Dr. Hashim from CMLR. And for Group B gazetted officer, gazetted, non-gazetted, I'll just read Sri Anuj Kumar Bhatia, section officer, Dinesh Kumar Mete, ISSD, Kailash Mamgay, AO3 GS, Pradeep Sharma Mete, Anand Desai, assistant manager, Viji TM, scientific assistant, Veena Chanjalini, Srimati Veena Chanjalini, Sri Namanpreet Singh, Sri TV Rajesh, Sri Sandosh Kumar, Sri Pradeep Kumar Singh, Senior Executive, Sri V. Chandran, Scientific Officer Grade 2, Sri K. Ramesh, Scientific Officer Grade 2, Sri Sandeep Subhash Kulkarni, Senior Executive, Srimati Sheila Abraham, SA RMC Mumbai, Sri Madhuri Musale, SA Pune, Sri Agresh Kumar Jha, Scientific Assistant. Group C, Srimati Jayasri LDC, Mr. Aman Kumar Sarma, Executive, Srimati Rasi PC, Executive Director, Sri Sulabh Srivastava, Sri Jawaharlal Das, Sri Uttal Datta, Sri ML George, Mechanical Grade 1, Sri Pradeep Kumar BK, Fishing Camp. MDS, Sri Rajkumar MDS, Sri Rajendra Babu, Sri Vikas Vittal Bamble, Srimati Shamala KG Nair, Sri VD VR Prasad, Sri SB Singh, Sri Randir Singh MDS. Certificate of Merit, Sri VB Murthy, Scientist E in NIC, Arvind Pandey, PPS, and Sri Pramod Kumar of MOES. So now we can clap. Happy congratulations to all of them. And a big thank you to all of you for your sincere and dedicated work, and we expect this kind of sincere work for the coming years, coming days, and we should remember that we have to deliver a lot, and a lot of expectation from both from government as well as common people on Ministry of Sciences. As all of you know that we are going through a difficult time now due to COVID situation, crisis, but I should tell you, optimism is more contagious than COVID-19. So let us be all very optimistic for our future. We'll come out with flying colors, and our social and economic conditions will substantially improve very soon. With this hope, I will stop here. Please stay safe. Wish you all the best. Thank you. Jai Hind.
On the occasion of this MOES Foundation Day 2020, we'll be releasing the IMD's Awesome Mobile app in the presence of the Honorable Union Minister, Dr. Harshavardhan. We'll play a short video on this IMD Awesome Mobile app now.
India Meteorological Department, Ministry of Earth Sciences, has taken various initiatives in the recent years for improvement in the dissemination of weather forecasts and warning services based on the latest tools and technology. To further enhance this initiative, Ministry of Earth Sciences feels proud to launch the mobile app MOSA for India Meteorological Department. This mobile app is dedicated to the general public and designed to communicate the weather information and forecasts in a lucid manner without technical jargon. Users can access observed weather, forecasts, radar images, and be proactively warned of impending weather events. The MOSA mobile app has the following 5 services. 1. current weather, which provides the current temperature, humidity, wind speed and direction for 200 cities updated 8 times a day. Information on sunrise, sunset and moonset are also given. 2. Nowcast gives 3-hourly warnings of localized weather phenomena and their intensity issued for about 800 stations and districts of India by state meteorological centers of IMD. In case of severe weather, its impact is also included in the warning. 3. City Forecast provides the past 24 hours and the 7-day forecast of weather conditions around 450 cities in India. 4. Warnings, where alerts issued twice a day for all districts for the next 5 days in color code red, orange and yellow to warn citizens of approaching dangerous weather. The color code red is the most severe category, urging authorities to take action. Orange code prompts authorities and the public to be alert, and yellow code prompts authorities and public to keep themselves updated. 5. Radar Products provides the latest station-wise radar products updated every 10 minutes. The Awesome mobile app will be an important tool for dissemination of weather information and warnings in an attractive and user-friendly manner which will meet the requirements of the public. The mobile app has been designed and developed jointly by ICRISAT's Digital Agriculture and Youth Team, Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, Pune, and the India Meteorological Department.
This mobile app is available both on the App Store as well as the Google Play Store. Thank you. The next point of the agenda is the inauguration of the MOES Knowledge Resource Center Network. So on this occasion of this MOES Foundation Day, we will be launching the MOES Knowledge Resource Center Network in the presence of the Honorable Union Minister for Health and Family Welfare, Science and Technology and Health Sciences, Dr. Vardhan. The Knowledge Resource Center Network is a web portal for the network of knowledge resources of the MOES headquarters and its 10 institutes. It's a single gateway to all the interdigital world of the Ministry of Earth Sciences Systems, and it will provide a 24/7 access to e-resources submitted under the consortium of the ministry. It will also give access to all our users the MOES digital repository, posting the publications, research articles, the PhD thesis, videos from various MOES institutes on a single platform. And one of the most important things, it will give an access to the directory of the Indian Antarctic Expedition members. Currently, till date, we have had 39 expeditions to the Antarctic. And so, this portal will have all the information and the related to the Indian Antarctic Expedition. A sample of this is shown here. So we have now made the directory for the first 11 expeditions to the Indian Antarctic expedition, and very soon we'll be posting the information of all the 39 expeditions to the Indian Antarctic. Once we complete this work, we also tend to plan to form a similar repository for the Indian Arctic expeditions. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our chief guest, Dr. Vardhan, Honorable Union Minister for Science and Technology, Earth Sciences, Health and Family Welfare, to address the gathering.
Dr. M. Rajivan, Secretary, Ministry of Earth Sciences, Dr. Vipin Chandra, Joint Secretary, Ministry of Earth Sciences, Srimati Sumita Sarkar, Dr. N. Mohapatra, Dr. E. Rajgopal, all other senior scientists, all the distinguished former secretaries of the Ministry of Earth Sciences who have joined us through the web, other employees of the Ministry of Earth Sciences, media friends, and our very special guest today, to whom we have to express our gratitude also for joining us and also for delivering the keynote address today in spite of COVID. Dr. Margaret Leonen, Director Scripps Institution of Oceanography and Vice Chancellor for Marine Sciences, United States, San Diego. Dr. Margaret, we are extremely grateful to you. I feel sorry that we can't meet. I can't even see you right now, but I know that you have joined us today. We are extremely grateful and we really feel privileged. Of course, all my dear media friends are also here. Thanks all of you for being with us today in this function, which has been organized in an entirely different way. I think it's the new normal for the society, for institutions, for the academia, and maybe in the long run, it might prove to be some sort of a blessing for us. We can probably, with less resources, minimum input, we can have maximum output. A lot of people can join us without having to bother for travels and leaves and so many other things. So this way of communication was available to us earlier also, but COVID probably reminded us that this could also be another better normal for the society. So my dear friends, the Ministry of Earth Sciences Foundation Day is indeed a great occasion, and I am honored to be here with all of you to celebrate our 14th anniversary. As we all know, our Ministry of Earth Sciences was formed in 2006 by merger of the Indian Meteorological Department, the National Center for Medium Range Weather Forecasting, the Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, the Earth Risk Evaluation Center, and the Ministry of Ocean Development. Friends, the earth science is a combination science that draws upon all other sciences to unlock Earth's mysteries. It is unique and yet interdependent. Earth science empowers us to think globally and act locally, to make sound decisions about issues important in our lives as individuals and also as citizens. People who understand how earth systems work can make informed decisions. They can debate and resolve issues surrounding clean water, urban planning and development, national security, global climate change, and the use and management of natural resources. the 21st century, we need to be informed citizens. And earth science takes us exactly there. It serves to connect us all to each other biologically, to the earth chemically, to the rest of the universe atomically. Which is why I always say that the earth science skills become life skills, and therefore the earth sciences ministry can easily be seen as the life skills ministry. In fact, the study of all earth sciences is a humbling and character building exercise and an experience. To me, it underscores our responsibility to deal more kindly with one another and to preserve and cherish the pale blue dot, the earth, the only home we have ever known. In terms of contemporary impact, one of the most important areas of earth science is the study of climate change, the slow warming of the earth, the accompanying effect on biodiversity, and humankind's part in it, which must be addressed to protect the planet we all live on. Climate change resulting from over-exploitation of Mother Earth can no longer be denied. It can't be edited out. It can't be omitted from the conversation, which is what the planet is facing today. Not just because I am the health minister of the country, but because I am a responsible citizen of the world. I am compelled to admit that the present COVID-19 pandemic that has destroyed millions of families and wrecked the global economy is nothing but a result of the havoc that mankind has unleashed on nature and on Mother Earth over the last few centuries. Those who understand the way nature plays out and understand earth science know well what I am talking about. Our lives and civilization depend upon how we understand and manage our planet. Earth processes affect us all. Weather patterns influence the availability of water resources and the potential for forest fires. Earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, hurricanes, and floods can kill large numbers of people and cause millions or even billions of dollars in property damage. Just as earth systems directly affect each of us, we as individuals, communities, and nations affect our planet. Expanding technologies and growing populations increase demand on natural resources. As we extract and use these resources, we impact Earth today, which will in turn impact those who come after us. To enhance our stewardship of the environment, we must proceed into the future with a sound understanding of Earth systems. This ministry, the Ministry of Earth Sciences, is a unique organization in the world which looks holistically at all branches of earth science: atmosphere, hydrosphere, cryosphere, and lithosphere. India is the only country with a fully dedicated ministry solely addressing all the aspects of earth sciences. This helps in developing an integrated approach in planning and resolving major concerns in a holistic manner with least time delay. The ministry has attained many significant achievements in the recent past, which are considered to be of global standard for other countries to follow. On weather and climate sciences, India has one of the best weather services in the world for disaster management with accurate warnings on tropical cyclones, heat waves, and floods. The IMD provides tropical cyclones and storm surge advisories to 13 member countries under the ESCAP panel. India has also developed an Earth system model for future climate projections for the first time. This model capability is at par with other modeling centers in the United States, United Kingdom, Australia, Japan, and Germany. Ministry of Earth Sciences has launched an experiment to understand and document merits and demerits of artificial rainmaking, cloud seeding, by conducting experiments with 2 aircrafts in 2 years. This experiment has collected 234 samples of clouds to demonstrate the efficacy of cloud seeding. The kind of large-scale cloud seeding experiments are carried out by very few countries like the United States. On the setting up of atmospheric research test beds, a unique facility in tropics will be launched in 2021 with the first phase of instrumentation. This open field observatory is planned to be spread over 100 acres of land, 50 kilometers away from Bhopal, and is proposed for a better understanding of the monsoon, clouds, and land surface processes. This center will have state-of-the-art observational systems such as radars, wind profilers, UAVs, etc. Very few countries have these kinds of research aspects. We are also proposing the use of artificial intelligence, machine learning, and Internet of Things for data collection, analysis, and developing forecast applications as well as more automation of observations and data analysis. I know that we are also planning better computing resources, HPC 40 petaflop by next year for generating global forecasts at 5 kilometers and regional forecasts at 1 kilometer. ECM FW, for example, has gone for 1 kilometer global forecast, even though on research mode. On ocean sciences and technology, INCOIS provides one of the best services in ocean state forecasts and tsunami warnings to 25 countries for the Indian Ocean, with no false alarms till date. NIOT has pioneered the development of indigenous desalination plants for islands using green technology. This system can be transferred to other island countries like the Maldives. Another success story of this ministry lies in deep sea mineral mining. India is one of the very few countries involved in exploration of deep sea minerals. India is the pioneer investor with a contract with the International Seabed Authority. Ministry of Earth Sciences has also been seriously involved in research on deep ocean exploration for the last 30 years. India has been one of the first few countries in developing a deep mining system up to 6,000 meters, which is under testing now. Similarly, the National Institute of Ocean Technology has designed and developed many modules for manned submersibles which can go down to 6,000 meters. This is expected to be completed by 2022. Once completed, India will be the 6th country in the world to have manned submersibles for deep sea exploration after the United States, China, Japan, Russia and France. Ministry of Earth Sciences has one of the best ocean research fleets with 7 ships exclusively used for research purpose. On the seismological services and seismological research, the Deep Borehole Observatory at Karad in Maharashtra is one of the very few such observatories across the world. The 3-kilometer borehole is one of the deepest boreholes in the world. Ministry of Earth Sciences has established one of the best research facilities for geochronology at IUAC New Delhi. This facility would be capable of dating the oldest geological formations in Earth history and providing improved and quantitative understanding of the evolution of the Indian lithosphere. In addition, this facility would help in contemporary cutting-edge research in atmospheric, oceanic, and planetary sciences at an international level. Similarly, on polar sciences, the National Center for Polar and Ocean Research, NCPOR, Goa is responsible for the country's research activities in the polar and southern ocean realms. We are the best in research in the Himalayas. We need to strengthen research activities in the Arctic and in Antarctica. At present, India is at 25th place in Arctic research and 16th place in Antarctica research. Friends, having elaborated on our success stories, I do simultaneously understand that there are many lacunae that need to be filled up for us to take a giant leap forward. We need huge financial investments, at least twice of the present budget, in augmenting observational networks, replacing old ships, procuring new computing resources, etc. I also understand from my scientist friends here that we also need more trained manpower. Earth sciences is a specialized interdisciplinary subject with expertise from physics, maths, meteorology, chemistry, geosciences, engineering, and technology, etc. However, given all the constraints that we have been facing, we have done very well. Today, I take this opportunity to congratulate each and every person who has been associated with this ministry in the past as well as now. It would be an opportune moment for me right now to acknowledge the contributions of late Dr. Sikka, late Dr. Birbal Sahani, Dr. Ravindran, Dr. Sulochana Gadgil, Dr. Shailesh Nayak, Dr. P.S. Goyal, Dr. Harsh Gupta, Dr. V.K. Gaur, Professor J. Srinivasan, Dr. Satish Shinoy, and many others who have steered this department and the development of earth sciences in India. I would also like to bring on record the dynamic working of our present secretary, Dr. M. Rajivan. I would also like to use this occasion to congratulate all the awardees whose names have been announced today and who could not enjoy the privilege of receiving them today. Kudos to all our scientists. We have come a long way and there is much more to be done. I shall end with my favorite verse from Robert Frost. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep. Miles to go before I sleep. Miles to go before I sleep. Thank you, my friends.
Thank you very much, sir, for your kind words, and I'm sure with the continued guidance, the Ministry of Earth Sciences will be able to achieve many more milestones in the years to come. I would now request Dr. Vipin Chandra, Joint Secretary, Ministry of Earth Sciences, to propose the vote of thanks.
Honorable Union Minister of Health and Family Welfare, Science and Technology and Earth Sciences, Dr. Vardhan ji, Secretary MOES Dr. M. Rajivan, my colleague Srimati Sumita Sarkar, JS and FA, former secretaries of DST, erstwhile TOD and MOES, colleagues from Ministry and MOES institutions, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me immense pleasure to propose the vote of thanks at the end of this MOES Foundation Day function. Firstly, I express my sincere gratitude to Honorable Union Minister for Health and Family Welfare, Science and Technology and Earth Sciences, Dr. Vardhan ji, for sparing his valuable time to be with us on this occasion. For last 6 years, he has been providing us guidance, inspiration, and excellent support in our activities. Sir, we look forward for continued guidance in implementing the various programs of MOES. I would like to assure the Honorable Minister that the MOES family of professionals will always be in the pursuit of acquiring advanced knowledge and dedicate themselves towards making the ministry as one of the best in the world in providing services on weather, climate, ocean and seismology. We are extremely grateful to Dr. Margaret Lennon for sending the video recording of the Foundation Day lecture. It will be played after this function. I would also like to congratulate winners of Certificate of Merit for scientists, engineers, and winners of Best Employees Award from autonomous institutions, subordinate and attached offices of MOES. We would like to thank all our former secretaries, directors, colleagues from MOES institutions, friends from media who are watching this function live through webcasting. Last but not the least, I thank all my colleagues from MOES who have helped in organizing this Foundation Day function. Thank you very much.
ओम श्री परमात्मने नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। डिवाइन प्रोटेक्शन के लिए 11 बार महामृत्युंजय मंत्र। ओम त्र्यंबकं यजामहे सुगंधिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ नमः शिवाय शिवाय नमः ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ नमः शिवाय शिवाय नमः ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे